So I found this on one of my trips with my bike in the desert somewhere. I explored a lot of territory, and so on my way, I had a car there most of the time, but also a bike. And on one of my trips, I staggered around in the desert. There was a turned down high tension wire pole. The whole thing had broken down after a storm.
But it wasn't live. Was it?
No,
was it abandoned?
No, that was just temporarily just went down.
Temporarily. So you had faith.
No, the whole thing was dead. I mean, it was shut off, of course, because it was a cross-country transmission.
So how did you know it was dead though?
Well, I saw this one there was a shadow.
Told the other guy to grab it first.
No, there was.
Put your tongue on that.
There was
His other buddy that didn't live.
there was
Walid.
Hey,
I just found this.
Sizzle.
Han Solo. I think I grew a couple more
Do I
extra
know
green.
you?
Yes, sir, you do.
From who? By whom? Says who?
Says
I don't
me.
want to know you.
Maybe you guys wouldn't recognize me with that.
This is my husband, Terry.
This is my ex-husband.
Good.
And there's the gay boyfriend. That's
So anyway,
We share now. Busy! Yeah, baby!
you brought me the jacket. You got my
Yeah.
Did you drop this?
Oh my God. Oh, this is one of those.
Drop the phone. There's phone.
Yeah, I put these little knobs in there.
Oh, it's from a telephone thing.
It's not telephone, it's from the high tension.
Yeah, like a power. Wow.
Look at the cables, this thing, the size of cables that go through there.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, here.
Yeah.
Is this your phone?
Oh wow.
These cables are.
Your phone? Is it your phone?
Whose phone was that?
Anyway, so that's that. And again, you know, you use it, I have to
That's weird.
fine tune it. And then I used it at home for the roulette.
Did you ever use it for a spittoon?
You say he's
For what?
A spittoon?
No, but I used it as a, no, it was
I'm
just,
glad you did.
it was sitting on one of my desks there, on one of my tables. And
It's an old school phone.
was
It's like a 5S
oh,
or
I have the
something.
ball in here.
Beginner.
This thing is not part of it.
Paul, is this your other phone?
No.
I think it was up there.
Maybe
Oh, it's Jesse's!
it's probably tied to the phone.
Jesse's!
Jesse left. He's coming back. He's coming
No,
back.
it's Jesse's phone!
Yeah, but he's coming back.
I know, it's Jesse's phone.
This ball I made
Jesse's
myself.
Gray hairs out
No, I did not make
It was stolen.
You did. This is an old phone.
a clear ball. All shiny, all through. Totally.
How did you get it to go inside like you read?
No, this is, I
Terry needed a beer.
I'm still working on that first one.
Oh, okay, good.
I kind of need both hands in this.
Paul, you need another beer.
multiple shot glass.
It's a barn for like 20 people.
You can actually, but you cannot drink. You know,
That's how do you drink out of one without spilling the rest? Huh?
well, you can.
You gotta all gather around.
It's a commitment once you start. Some of
So I'll give you that, Paul. I just been.
Oh, limoncello, that's good.
Good, huh?
Hey, who hasn't had a shot yet? Hey, I want to tell a Paul Hengstebeck story real quick. There's a few over the years, and as some of you may know, Paul started coming around the RADS in '87, and he had like big roots in windsurfing. You know, the whole American windsurfing movement with Robbie Nash and everybody. Paul, come here, come over here. You like?
they know me.
Hey, do a cartwheel.
Okay, get ready.
So anyway, Paul was a big part of the whole windsurfing movement, and that started in America. Wow. And then we met him in '87, and he came around and filming the RADS, and he was always filming stuff. That's why we have all this old footage of the RADS and all the archive stuff. Yeah, Paul, sit there.
The special RADS
And I
chair.
remember one of the first sleeping lizards he filmed. You know, it wasn't one of the, you know, it was like about '88. The lizard started probably in '84, right? But in '88 or so, you filmed the leaping lizard, and
Yeah.
some of you might not even know that, but the Sonic S wasn't always the Sonic S. It used to be straight, and it went on the right side of that oak tree. And this was before there was GoPros. This was before there was like drones or anything. But Paul would film, and he would mount the cameras on our chest, and since there wasn't drones or even the thought of it.
You have one on the helmet too.
Oh, drone.
He climbed into the oak tree by the Sonic S, and he would get that POV shot of racers going underneath him, and of course he managed to fall out of the tree.
Oh my God.
Remember that one? Was the camera running?
How can I forget? The camera survived, actually. I got the shot still, you know, the shot going down and then sort of stopping.
Yeah, sure, stop.
We've had wonderful days. And
Yeah, so thanks to Paul, we actually have all those tapes, and there's some hard drives around with all this footage, and that's why we have. It's kind of really a gift. I mean, he not only documented the history of our club. He really documented indirectly the history of the sport, the evolution from those bikes like that red line right there that he just.
That thing's so sick.
I had one of those.
He donated that to the wall here, so we need to hang it up, and then Spencer's gonna race it in the lizard.
I'm racing out.
How did you pick
And yeah, Paul also then went on and he filmed some of my early videos, and those were some of the first mountain bike videos out there. And Paul did all the filming for those things. And I remember like in '96, a bit later than that, I asked him, hey, I need to do this TV thing in Chile to climb a volcano. And at the time he was 60, which in my book was super old, like 60. Like it's like a 10,000 foot volcano, Villarrica, and on top there was a crater the size of the outside of the Dodger Stadium, like with lava boiling. You could look down there and you see the lava boiling, it was pretty rad. But he hiked all the way up, and the top was snow and stuff, and that was when you were 60. That was 27 years ago.
And Hans carried his bike all the way up there, and it took him about 8 hours to get up there. Yeah, it was about because we left early at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the morning, and the top was. When you looked at it when we arrived there, it was sort of obscured a little bit, and then the next morning when we woke up, I go outside and I look, and there is the whole top is white. I mean, it's a beautiful, picturesque volcano. With perfect size, and the top was almost was all white.
So we had crampons on when we hiked up with the bike, and I had flat pedals, and I left the crampons on to ride down in the snow. I remember they were like they almost like it was like clicking in with in the flat pedals.
Yeah.
Hans, was that in '97?
Yeah, around then, '96 or '97.
Okay, so I have a really cool story about Paul that I'll always remember. But we're gonna flash forward.
Scott was here.
Sorry, pizza show.
Mike, we get to your story in a second.
Yeah, we'll get back to the story in one moment.
Yeah.
Because this is a really cool story. There's pizza and shots of pizza. Hi, buddy.
There's somebody beer here. Litter.
Where's the Madonna?
Yeah.
There's pizza. Come on, help yourself.
I got.
That's your sore finger?
I wanted to just show.
Point that thing in there.
Noisy bike.
Lick. Did I say whiz? Lick. I thought you were being funny. Lick. You're getting on in here.
What do you have to do to get out of there?
Whiz, really?
Gotta get off your ass, Paul.
I am more than happy to.
Jump in, sir.
Oh, okay. Pizza time.
If anyone wants this cheese, there's a cheese one as well. There's cheese pizza too. You want this cheese?
Yeah.
How about your cookie?
It's an old handcrafted brand cowbell from Switzerland.
How come it says Costco on the side?
That's gonna be the official dinner bell for tacos.
Swiss, yeah. But here's
That'd be an
what,
awesome tradition. It ain't. Times of Terror, last lap.
Yeah.
And here is something to be.
Pooh Bear.
Go
I
ahead.
want it.
I think that's the big lizard trophy for next year.
I'll wrestle Hans for it.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the lizard trophy.
Well, he's got a big dick.
Is that a wooden sloth?
That's a key hanger. Pretty gay, your
These are all natural.
It's not a toothpick.
Is that Innie or Audi?
This was, no, I'm
Is that
talking
a-
about.
Is that a wooden
Notice the nose?
That's gonna be a new award, the RAD of the Year trophy.
Well,
Then we'll hand it off.
this one, these are all knots in this,
That knob.
you know?
Is that president?
And these portions here, this here, as well.
How come you're not talking about the penis? Oh, there it is.
Easy with the reach around.
That's a number, dude.
Branches, you know, cut off, how would you say? These are knots of former outgrowing branches. So this guy is always very happy to.
That's the humdinger of an outgoing branch right there.
And so what I was thinking of.
Twig.
Brad's
jealous.
You
Donate.
guys didn't make him face the other way. Look at this.
Check out his back door.
You should have carved it that way.
This has been made by a good friend of mine. And,
What's his name?
He's not that good of a friend.
Hey, no hard questions.
anyway, just take my word.
Fucking Steve.
Here's a
I
great
have,
thing.
I've been only befriended with him for about 20 years, 30 years.
Yeah, what's in it, man?
Yeah.
Social security number.
Has it been sodomized yet?
So what I plan on doing is I'm going to donate this to the
Well, that's gonna happen tonight, if you ask me.
RADS. And I want this to be auctioned off
Oh, boy.
for the highest bidder. If
$7.
that's what you
Brad
want.
Beck already said 1,000.
What do you want the starting bid?
Yeah, Brad Beck gave me
This
1,000.
is for you to decide. And because the
heard Brad Beck at
benefits are
1,000,
going
22
towards the club.
Big
Whatever,
story, Brad
whatever
Beck.
you get out of it, it's gonna be split, not split.
I think we should make it a trophy for a race.
$642.72.
Well, then you still wanna, I still want to get some, I wanna change this into money, not for me, but for the group. And then you
I think we should
can,
just keep it.
How much for the bell?
Is your prostituting your bear?
He needs to offload it.
You are a bear.
I think I should be like a RADS ring, like the ring, like we can.
You just gotta hide it in your ass.
yeah, but I still, I want to see.
Who has the boner bear?
I want to be able to say, I contribute X amount of dollars
you
to the group.
And we'll make it into a necklace and the RAD is actually has to wear it.
That concludes my presentation for the time being.
For the time being.
Thanks, Paul.
What about the other bear? Wasn't there a second one?
Hi, Mike Lee, what's your story, Mike?
On your bears?
Oh, nice outfit.
Yeah, we need to hear the Mike Lee story.
Yeah, so my story and like the coolest recollection I have of fall, it's ironically gonna take a place if Hans's story happened in 97 or 96, let's hope. Then there would be 96, 06, and then 2016. In 2016, the Laguna RADS
Fascinated by
did
the
the
fucking math that you got there. We'll return to that. Sorry.
Mental gymnastics.
proceed.
20 years later, so that makes him 80 years old.
10.0.
That Tony Z came up with the Colorado trip,
Yeah.
which a lot of us got to go do. And then we wound up at Wiz's house, somewhere near Aspen, Colorado, because he's got connections. We were hanging out in
It's not his
Aspen.
fucking house, Mike.
It's his dad's house.
Ask,
Snowmass.
He's just the old guy that used to live down the way. Anyways, so here we go. We're in Aspen, Colorado. TZ's about to launch his fixed manufacturing company. He's inside a building right there on the corner of downtown Aspen and something else and a weed shop. And he's pitching it to like some of the guys that used to work at Oakley, like, hey, do you think fixed manufacturing is a good idea? And they're like, yeah, it's all right. It might be a good idea, you know. But we were out front, like smoking a joint on the corner, like downtown Aspen, Colorado. And then somehow we went and got ice cream, and then we all jumped in the van and we were going back to Wiz's dad's house. Wiz's dad's house, right? And Bodie's driving the van. And we're listening, like, there must have been 25 to 30 of us in the van. We're listening to, like, Social Distortion, TSOL. There was one more band that I can't. Huh?
Rage Against the Machine.
Oh, and Rage Against the Machine. Right? And Bodie Barrett, who's a Laguna Rad, is driving, of course, because he's a cop. So let me have that guy, right? And there's at least 20 of us in this van, and we're driving back to Wiz's dad's house, and we're raging, like, we're like, wah, 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 wah. And Paul is the only guy stand-up surfing in the van the whole way back to Wiz's dad's house. Like, he's the only guy, like, the rest of us are all sitting down, like, yeah, fucking, we're raging, and Paul's standing there, like, you know, van surfing this thing, and about that time, Bodie hits a speed bump, and at the same time, he literally jumps the van and catches air, so we're airborne for at least a second. Right? But in the van, and Bodie's driving, and we're like, oh, that was fucking sick, and we landed, oh, and there was such a relapse when we landed that one of the bikes on the back of the van swung up on the bike rack and broke the back window on the back of the driver's side of the van. And this is a rental van that TZ said, like, for bands or whatever, right? And we fucking broke the back window on the van. And then, like I said, Paul was the only guy surfing the van. He was like fucking legit surfing the van. And we were raging like TSOL.
Where did Paul?
Then we get back to
into the ceiling, fucking launching over the fucking.
We get back
the only guys on the
we get back to
He gets
Wiz's.
into the ceiling.
Hey, man, Ellie, no.
It was like
We
making
get
the
back to
old
Wiz's house.
Get on, hang up.
We get back to Wiz's house, and
And
we're all in
Paul
the
started
kitchen because
jacuzzi
usually
party.
parties happen in the kitchen, if you will. Like parties always happen in the kitchen. And we're like, dude, that was fucking baller. Like, we had so much fun. And I think TZ, you might have went out to check the van. Bodie went out and checked the van, and he's like, fuck, guys. We broke the back window and I jumped that thing because the bike came up and smacked the back.
You were driving.
Yeah, the handlebar went through the back window. And here you go, greatest part, long story short, for those that were in the van, and we all stepped up, I think it was like $50 each for us to replace the window. But it was totally worth it. Yeah, like it was one of the coolest nights ever, like in downtown Aspen.
Nice.
Thanks for reminding me. I'll
Do you remember that? You were surfing like a boss, dude. You were going backside, you barreled, you're like, I fucking got this. No other.
You know, I have a fun fact. Paul is 87 and has never broken a bone in his life.
What? Time for it to happen.
He's always a kid.
Hey, the day is young, Paul.
I got some.
Have a job here.
Working on it. He's not
Climb
big.
tires. Or the PSL.
Yeah, one of the greatest memories I had with Paul in our life in the van.
Thanks for.
You're so fun.
It's not a stressful spot. It's not like I recently laid back, and that's a stress spot, right? That's weird. Pretty good. That's fucking good.
The story, Mike?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Dude, it was such a good memory. Like, we had so much fun on that trip. Like, you couldn't even go. You can't. It's like it wasn't it supposed to replace the Trans Alps
That was the trip when Mike
There's
B
something
was,
for you.
he was courting Fiona so hard, dude. And he was like,
I still share.
getting her
something for
getting
you.
her bike ready, and he still treats her the same way.
This
like
is
a
something
princess.
that Mike and I worked on together. This is a RADS patch for the scepter. That's the
Oh,
scepter.
yeah.
I don't think so.
Mike, I just gave him a scepter patch. Hey, I just gave him a scepter
Yeah,
patch.
scepter.
No, look, Mike,
Required more
Mike,
funding
over
than
here.
CIA.
I just gave him a scepter patch.
Oh, this is my scepter.
So that's your scepter patch.
Yeah, this is my scepter.
Okay.
I was reading like one of those.
When I
things
was the
read where
president in
CIA was like,
2014, Blink was my
I had to read it 4 times.
associate vice president that nobody knew about, but the best vice president. And we had scepter patches made. And if your name's on the scepter,
Blackbird missile. I don't understand what I'm like.
I know you made it, you deserve a scepter patch.
Okay, scepter.
That says RADS without saying RADS.
Aircraft for
And you can, it's got glue on it so you can heat it up.
SR-71.
Mike, he wants to sit.
Okay. I was so confused. I was like, yeah, if CIA invented the SR-71, that probably wouldn't surprise me. But I just never heard that before, so I was like,
His parents are like
Got my name
legit,
on it.
like up there, super highly respected engineers. And this was he, and that whole incident had straight up.
I got
Paul,
my name
Paul,
on it.
wait up.
He got thrown into jail. Give me my weed,
Paul.
Not everybody.
that whole story.
He almost killed his pops.
Paul, put it in. I'll put his roast on Paul.
Or or Tom Sherman. He was going for the guy's gun. He got the gun out of his holster, and the thing hit the ground. He was going for the gun, and fucking Sherman had to kick it out of Sherman's hands so that he wouldn't get the gun and fucking shoot the guy. And because of that, he got 6 months as opposed to like you would kill that fucking cop, dude.
because the cops don't.
And then after that, it was like George and Sherman.
Well, that was
in
the
ring,
first time he
too.
had actually worked to buy for the weed. You know, like he
There's
bought
only
the
one
weed with his
scepter,
own
right?
real money. And he couldn't comprehend the fact that this cop was going to take it away from him.
Isn't that the most recent one?
Give me my weed, pig.
So that's like a normal thing, is that like you're like somebody's hosting a ride, fucking in another state, and like you're out pedaling and CIA comes out of the bushes.
Who made the scepter? Who made it?
Well, Ross had something to do with it, and Jack Whitmer. I think Ross maybe CNC'd the.
Who turned down the handle?
I don't know. It's,
Yeah, where's your son playing at?
maybe the fossil even.
Where's your son playing
This
at?
has been?
What?
Should we ask Ross?
Well, that's been.
What? Catcher,
Well, this
right?
has been, yeah.
Oh, that's got a tip on it. That tip could tell a story. Oh, you smell it.
That's cool.
Han,
That's pretty cool.
tell,
That he's with Dodgers,
Han,
and he wins a World Series.
I'm getting onions.
Cilantro.
So,
Is it kind of nutty smelling? It's a
he
little
had a great
nutty.
speech.
Wow, it's a bit nutty, but I'm getting onions and pickles.
the name Ross came up here a minute ago, and Hans, tell him briefly about Ross, the character.
Well, they know Ross.
Oh yeah, well everybody.
But you tell us the story you remember about Ross.
Oh,
Spencer doesn't
I don't
know Ross.
remember